Is this thing on?
Can everybody hear us? I sure hope so, because we have a lot to talk about.
Welcome to our podcast, Unapologetically Mixed Up. I am Kelly, and this is
Mike.
This is not a one-size-fits-all podcast. We will be discussing multiple different topics, from mental health, marriage,
And don't forget the sports.
animals, and more. There are going to be real, raw, and emotional episodes where we show you our most vulnerable moments. Follow us and our guest on this crazy ride we call life.
And don't forget to follow us on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and our email address is unapologeticallymixedup@gmail.com. Well, welcome back, everybody. Yeah, see? This I'm so bad at this. I am always bad at this.
No. We're keeping it.
We always keep it even though it's not right. Mm-hmm. So, welcome back, everybody. It's me, Mike. We got Kelly, and we do have a special guest today. Fellow co-worker of mine. His name is Wes.
Hello.
Say hi, Wes.
Glad to be here.
All right. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Wes. I am from the great state of Ohio. I'm trying to remember what I'm supposed to say and not supposed to say.
If you say anything bad, we can just edit it out.
I have known Mike for 4 years now. 4 years now.
It'll be 5 years in
Working together, different
January.
jobs, and him making quite the journey to come see me where I live, which is about a little over an hour from where I am. And I have never actually come to visit him because I'm a terrible friend. So I finally made the journey today.
That he is.
However, I made it horribly late. I made them wait for me like 2.5 hours later than expected. So they're both very, very happy to see me.
It's okay.
I'm 27, turning 28 next month, and I hate the winter. Is that a good one? So I'm really glad it's nice out. Driving up here today, and
Same.
And I'm a long time listener and fan of the podcast, so I'm happy to be.
Long time of what? 10 episodes.
Yeah,
That's all there is.
2-3 months.
Ever since February.
But no, I'm really happy to be here. I think this was a really cool idea that you guys do this. I find myself both happy to when I listen in on you guys, and I also feel a little jealous. I kind of feel like I could that this would be fun to do. So I'm looking forward to kind of being in it. So
Nice.
That's me.
Okay. So, yeah. So yeah, we known each other for 4 years. It'll be 5 years in January.
Did he start off in the call center with you?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the lucky ones that wasn't even with the company a year to be able to
Level up.
get out
Mm-hmm.
and not be in the call center anymore.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the worst place ever.
But you finally got out of it.
Took
And now
me
look at
3.5
you.
years. Jeez.
Did it take you? It didn't take you.
Call center in for 3.5 years. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No. When did you start?
Well, I technically added April of 19 because I got hired January 2020, right before COVID.
Oh.
And we were the same
So-
hiring class for our company.
So it wasn't 3.5 years then. It was 3.
Well, I added contractor years before, or months. So I was a contractor for 9 months.
My whole life came crashing down in March of 2020 when he had to start working from home. We didn't live in this house. We lived in Maslin in a side-by-side duplex. And I was used to, in between my shifts, coming home, just doing whatever the fuck I want to do, just, and then all of a sudden, this big fucking system comes into the house, and he's like, I want to go in the spare bedroom, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, where? Where would you like to go? Do you want to suspend yourself from the ceiling? Like, what the fuck? And he took over the whole kitchen, the whole fucking kitchen table.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It was absolutely fucking horrible. The day we moved in here, it was just beautiful because he has his own office. I could run around the house and scream at the top of my lungs if I want to. It was nice.
Oh yeah, since I'm not a call center, you can't really scream. Since I'm not on the phone anymore.
But now I do enjoy that you only work 4 days a week.
Yeah. Until I level up.
That's pretty nice. I think you told me you worked on the table there. I didn't know there was an option of using the spare bedroom. That if you could have fit a desk in there, that probably would have been better. But
it would have fit. Well, if we would have moved some of the...
No, because we still had those two giant
cages.
Dog cages in there.
Oh, then you had the clothes racks.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and you will hear the cat. That's Harrison this time.
I think I might have told you this, Mike. I was working off a ping pong table there for a little bit.
Nice.
I remember you did say that, yeah.
We didn't have a desk. It was big enough for all that stupid equipment, so I had to use the ping pong table in the basement of my parents' house.
Yeah, I was going to say, you weren't in Lakewood yet.
No.
You were still in... I guess, yeah.
Well, no, we can say cities.
Yeah,
All right.
Unless he wants us to bleep it out.
That's fine. I don't care. I'm just trying to follow your rules. No, I was back at my parents' literally in my parents' basement on a ping pong table, and it was meant to be temporary until I got a proper desk, and then I ended up using it for like a year.
At least you had a lot of room for...
Oh yeah.
But I feel like you still have that much equipment. You still have 2 screens, a laptop. You have it all.
I need a new laptop.
You need a 3rd screen.
Don't.
Maybe even a 4th.
Don't.
Then
Do
you
not. Does he know?
I do.
Ideally, you get the 6 screen setup. So you got 3 up here, 3 down there.
Yes.
You got YouTube videos on the top right. You got.
I got a TV. I got a TV in my office.
There you go.
How many screens do you have?
3. Well, 2 in the laptop.
Okay.
That's why I have 2 in the laptop.
See, and that's what Wes has, and he's still alive, and he's doing good. He's thriving. That's all you need. I swear to God, the Amazon showed up the other day, like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago.
And puts this like large box on the front porch, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, I didn't order something that big. So I go and look. Mike ordered another fucking screen.
Well, I took the other screen that I was using for the editing of this podcast for the MacBook.
You still have a screen sitting up there in the office, a TV that you used as a screen.
I don't want to use that TV. That was obnoxious. I can't even talk.
Obnoxious?
Yes, it was very obnoxious. I had a TV at one point.
He
I thought it
also
would be good, but
he also won a desk on MacBids, and then sold that and sold another one, ordered another one. Like in the last 2 months, he's put together multiple desks. He has a problem.
I do, but I like the one that I have now.
Thank God.
Yes. No more. And then
Do you want to assemble furniture for me also?
Hey, I'm down.
For funsies?
He's good at it.
Okay.
He has patience. I don't.
I assembled this table. We didn't have to assemble these.
You assembled that?
What?
My TV stand
Oh,
for my yoga area.
that was a pain in the ass as well.
That was.
Both of these things were...
Well, that's because MacBids gets those pallets of stuff that is from all the foreign places.
Oh, yeah. Because
And so the directions...
It's weird.
Everything has
I put it
like
together.
little wood pins and then these tiny little screwdrivers or screws, and then the tiny little screwdriver, and it's just, yeah. They're not very sturdy.
No.
Like, this isn't actually connected correctly.
No.
So if someone were to sit on
It may fall
it,
apart and it might fall on your feet.
but
Just
this
saying.
was $7, and I'm all about a bargain.
That's fantastic.
That futon, $10.
That's fantastic.
What about this one?
Wow.
This one was almost $50, only because some asshole kept bidding with me.
Well,
They waited till the very last minute, but I was gonna fucking win it.
So yeah, everything from here is MacBids. If anybody knows what MacBids is, it's in Ohio and PA. I think those are the only 2 states.
I don't know.
please sponsor us, Matt Bits.
Yes, MacBids. Please
Yes, thank
sponsor.
you.
That'd be great.
I need more fake plants.
Yeah, fake plant there.
This one pisses me off because it's like in my hair. I don't know. It's not very sturdy.
All right, so let's talk about. You had told me about the icks. What your icks were. 'Cause we had an episode about the icks. What kind of icks do you have?
God, I wish
share with the.
I wish I remembered that list that I sent you over Teams. Do you remember all of them? Because I remember I kept editing and adding to it.
One was about. Was it greasy hair?
Just greasy food, and my face being greasy, but especially
Face beat. That's it.
my
Face
my
beat, greasy.
hands being greasy and my face being greasy is that's an ick for me. That's why you always want me to come to wing night. Wings are a bane of my
I had to
existence.
order a hamburger.
Yeah, I ordered a
cheeseburger.
hamburger.
He told me that, and I was
Yeah.
like, why didn't he just get boneless wings? Because I feel you on that.
You're right. I could do that. I could
But
do that.
I always do boneless.
I mean, I also
I
just
told
am
him to
not
get boneless.
I'm just not that big a wing guy, even if they're not greasy. I mean, I don't
either.
know. I just
You don't like chicken?
burger. I like chicken. I don't know.
Do you ever feel like chicken is too chickeny? Do you know what I mean by that?
I 100%. No, I don't understand.
Like
Oh my god.
if you make chicken or you're eating chicken somewhere that someone else has prepared for you, do you ever feel like it tastes too much like chicken? Or like if you have leftovers in the fridge, do you ever feel like you go in like a couple days later to eat it, but it's too chickeny? No? Okay.
It's just you. She always says that. It's too chickeny.
It's the tism. That's what I've been
Yes,
told.
The tism.
It's the tism.
Yes.
Well, among a bunch of other things, what are the other icks that I named? So greasy food. God, it's killing me
can't
now.
remember
I can't remember any of it. You should have screenshot. You gotta do your homework for this, Mike. Come on.
Can you pull that up on your phone?
You probably it might be gone, but
Might be gone.
does it delete it? Do you have it on your? I don't know. Yeah, we should come back. Because I was inspired listening
can you,
to that.
since you don't know what icks, I mean, if you just think about it right now.
What are some other things that ick me? And I apologize. I don't think I'm on top of my A game. In part because of what I'll say that for any audience. I am very hungover. I am.
What was the choice drink?
You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh. It was sake, the drink from Japan.
Oh.
It's like wine-ish. Have you ever had it?
Isn't
Yeah,
it
whatever.
called sake?
Yeah, whatever. SAKE with a little
I've heard of it.
accent
I
mark.
never had it though.
Isn't that what they squirt in your mouth?
It
at
is
A1?
what they
Yes,
squirt in your
yes,
mouth
yes, I
at
like
wasabi.
wasabi.
You know what? There's an
Yes.
ick. I hate.
There we go. I triggered it.
I just said this stuff all over my face. Yeah, no, I never do that.
That stuff tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, that is especially bad. Also, I do like when they throw the food though. I'm really good at. That's one of my secret talents is catching food in my
the-
mouth at hibachi places.
Nice.
Dinner steak or shrimp.
I get it like I don't know 9 out of 10 times probably. So, but anyway, we were drinking sake. This kind of wine-like drink. It's not very good. It is not as bad as at the hibachi places, but it is not very good. We were drinking it intentionally because we were watching Shogun, which is a show on Hulu. Please sponsor us once again.
Yes.
That is about Japan. They're like colonial era Japan when the Europeans kind of started showing up and screwing up the country. It's a drama. It's very good. It's very good. And we were watching the finale. Unfortunately, we did not get through the finale because we had too much sake, and we had to cut it.
Is it flavored? What you were drinking? Like, does there?
I think there's different flavors. I am not an expert on this, and he bought it. But yeah, there's like subtle flavors of like different, like peach or lychee is like the most common one. I think is that what it was. It's like different hints of various fruits.
Yeah.
Because again, it's kind of winey. I have no idea what it's made from.
Right.
But it's not very strong. It's like wine. Maybe I think a little stronger than wine, but we drank like the whole. We drank 2 bottles, so that was.
Oh,
How big are the
Jesus.
bottles?
It was a bottle. I mean, it was
Like the 750.
it was
milliliter?
probably equivalent to us drinking probably like 2 bottles, a little over 2 bottles of wine ourselves. So that was probably a mistake. So
Oh, Jesus.
my apologies.
No, you're fine. It gave us time to run errands and pick up
So
stuff.
that
Yeah.
would be why, if I'm off my A game, that would be why. But it was a delightful evening, but I am too old for this now, and I don't want to admit that.
Yep.
It hurts. It hurts
So
more.
maybe you'll learn not to drink as much.
Oh, well, we all say that.
Yeah, right. True.
I haven't done that in a very long time, and I was reminded why I don't do that.
It always comes back. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It was quite.
Got a
Would you
splitting
like?
headache.
Would you like to hear the drinking rules that got us so inebriated? Because
Oh,
they
yeah.
are cool.
There's drinking rules?
They were. Oh yeah, of course.
Did it have to do with watching the show?
Yes,
Every
so-
time
correct.
something happened? Okay.
Yeah, and that's why. And anyone here, if there's any listeners that have watched Shogun, you'll probably hear why
I'll have
these
to watch it
rules
now.
were ridiculous and got us very intoxicated very quickly. First rule: we drink whenever they drink sake in the show. Makes sense.
Yeah.
You drink whenever they say a proverb, which is often. Drink whenever this main character lady refuses to translate or translates intentionally wrong, because they speak different languages, this whole thing. When there's an earthquake or natural disaster, which happens surprisingly often, when they do the chant, there's this big war chant they do like every other episode. Not going to say that one. When the main character guy speaks Japanese, because he doesn't, and it's really funny because he does it very poorly. It's kind of part of the joke. When a guy does a long ooh, which also happens a lot. When there's a badass line, when there's sexual tension, and when we see a Hulu ad for Shogun while watching Shogun. That is.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
Now I can see why.
It was often. It was often.
How many seasons are there?
1, and I think there's only gonna be 1, but I haven't seen the finale to the end, so I'm not sure. Just 1.
Stay
It's like 10
tuned.
episodes, 1 hour
Right.
long. It's really good. I like it.
So it's all foreign based? Like, is it like?
It's all in. I mean, I don't know where it's actually filmed, but it's based in Japan.
So does everybody speak Japanese? Or
Not
is it-
everybody. So I don't want to ruin. I don't want to spoil
Is there
it. The
translate-
main character is
Or
speaking English, and the tale follows him mostly, and he has there are some people that know his language in the country, specifically this one woman that's kind of the other main character knows his language. So it's like half in English, half in Japanese with subtitles. So if you
Nice.
don't like subtitles, then you probably
I
won't
do.
like it. Okay.
I hate him.
Well, you probably won't like it then.
You can watch it.
You ever
now.
seen a movie called Kung Pao?
Kung Pao. I don't think I have.
Yes, you need to see that.
Mm.
I think it's Japanese,
Mm.
and the lips it's so bad. It's so funny though. Kung Pao.
I love it. Is it like old school, like like karate? No, karate's Chinese.
It's got, I think it's karate in it. And I was fighting. There's a lot of fighting in it. But yeah,
I'll have to see it.
it's
We'll have to watch
Kung
it.
Pao. Yes.
We'll do that right after this.
Yes, right after this. I don't even know. I think it's on Netflix. Kung Pao.
Really?
I think so.
Just watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. Also, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It will make you cry.
What, that's Shogun?
No, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's the name of a film. It won awards and stuff. It's
I
a
feel like
funny title. It's a very funny title. Yeah, you guys didn't even realize I was saying the
heard
title of
Yeah,
a movie.
no,
Right.
but now that you said it, I feel like I've heard that.
It's Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's the name
Who's
of
in it?
Nobody you'd know. It was not expected to be as successful as it was, I don't think. Oh, no, there is. God, who's the... You might know this for reasons. Who is the woman that is in all the Halloween movies?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in it.
Yeah.
She's like a side role. She's like comedic relief. It's funny.
Nice.
Hey, Jamie Lee Curtis is good.
You'll laugh when you see her too. She's got a very funny role.
Wasn't she in the Michael Myers movies?
Well, right.
Yeah, it's Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, Halloween. Okay.
Yeah.
Sister.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Me killing people. What was that?
You know, like in the Halloween movies when they do, or like horror movies. What the fuck was? What was that?
From my angle, that was pretty similar. Honestly, I think he nailed it.
I don't even know what the hell I just did.
I thought it was beautiful. We can just blame it on Harrison.
There we go. That's a little bit better.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
So, let's get
What
into,
were we talking about?
See, that's we just go far left into everything. It's the ADHD and us, ADD or ADHD, whatever it is.
I have ADHD.
I also have reason to believe I may have ADHD. So that's something if you wanted to talk
Not
about that.
diagnosed?
Not diagnosed, but there's reasons to suspect. Definitely. We don't think that I have autism. We're pretty confident on that one. But ADHD, probably. So
I also didn't think I had autism. And then
Here we are.
you know what? You can actually take that test online for free.
I'll have to do that.
It's called the RADS test or something. I can look it up, send it to him, and he can send it to you. Because I retook it, and I was like, oh, this can't be like the actual one I took in the office like almost a year ago. No. It was the actual fucking test. And I'm like, well, shit. I could have just fucking looked these tests up myself.
Right.
Instead, I ended up spending, I think, oh, God, insurance only covered a bit of it, but I think $400 or $500. I just paid that bill off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I didn't know, but I also have
And
shitty.
it's the same quality?
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same
Wow.
thing. It's the same exact thing. And the only reason I looked it up is because there's another podcast I listened to, and she said, if you have to be like one of our friends, you have to take this test. And I was like, there's no way that the RADS test is actually on there. And it really is.
Wow. I'm
And it's
so sorry.
the exact same questions and everything. And I tested again just to see, and I'm still autistic, so didn't go away.
Well, double confirmation.
Double confirmation. You have the tism.
Well, the reason I said it the way I did is because we're, I guess, kind of starting to realize how prevalent this may be and how much it is in a spectrum,
Right.
of being on it. And Melinda seems to think that most of my friends are autistic, so that would maybe lend some pause to me suspecting myself.
There you go.
I really hope my friends don't listen to this now, but
Right. Sorry, friends.
so, well, you guys,
Sorry.
listen, you guys already know this. This is nothing new for you. So maybe, but I think just the ADHD. So if I don't stay on topic, just jingle something in front of me. I'll probably come back to it.
Jingle.
I'll forget because
Give a
I'll be
bell.
on the opposite side of you on something else.
Oh, we can get that light. He goes and Jason the light.
Oh, yeah,
for
the
the cat.
little
There
cat
you go.
laser light. Yep.
So any more icks as we get back to the icks?
God.
What? Okay, so besides the greasy face and fingers, what about greasy hair?
Well, my hair does get kind of greasy.
Not just you though, but like other people.
Like seeing it.
Yeah, seeing it and smelling it.
Again, I have a terrible sense
That's
of
right,
smell.
that's right. I
So
forgot about
I
that.
don't know if I
Smelled
can
it.
ever smelled, but No, that doesn't bother me. No, it's really killing me that now that it's gone. I'm sure if I listened to the episode again, it would like inspire me, but I like can't think of. It's completely gone. Because I listed like 7 things.
I think it was.
What about heavy breathing? Like just someone sitting next to you just breathing heavy.
No.
No? What about loud eaters?
I'm probably that one, so I can't complain about that.
Mike, I swear to God, sometimes when he's chewing, it sounds like he has dentures. Like
I have
he's
my mouth
clanking
closed.
his George Washington dentures. And he doesn't.
Well, I'm just like my dad, so
What other icks?
the older I get,
Or some
the
of
more I'm
his
like
icks
his.
are icks?
I don't think so. I think everything was different.
It was. Yeah, we're gonna have to have you look that up and come back to it. 'Cause I don't. You really want to talk?
I really want to know now.
Now I want to know. Yeah, it's gonna
That's
kill me if I
one
don't.
of the things
It's
I want to
gotta
talk about your icks.
Pull it up on your phone.
I hope it's still in Teams. I just am nervous because it's been like a month. It was in Teams. Because again, I remember
Uno
that
momento,
I
everybody.
kept editing it. You're gonna have to go way back. Well, we don't
I know,
message
stay
each
tuned.
other that much, I guess. You mostly
Yeah.
text me.
Pretty much. So I don't want work to see what we're talking about.
I guess I could take the opportunity to. What was the other thing? Oh, I wanted to say that I am very curious to hear how I sound on this because something
Well,
I had a
Sorry.
microphone. Now it's back. All right, Harrison. Yeah. Chill out. One thing I've been working on. Well, backstory. I used to be really bad about saying like as a pause all the time. When I was a kid, I don't think that's unusual. You hear
No.
kids talking all the
I
time.
still
They
do.
use like every other sentence, right? And I think I've broken that.
Or
Right.
oh, yeah.
Mike, you're very warm about what I'm about to say. I am, however, I think that I have somewhat replaced it with ums, and when I should just give pauses. You know, if you're speaking or if you're on a radio or podcast, you should just pause. And I'm sure you guys are probably getting way better at this, but I have a real habit of just saying instead of like, and I think it made it worse when we started doing virtual stuff because there'd be virtual calls, and if I allowed the pause and someone would interrupt me, so I say the to let people know that I'm not done yet. You know?
I just got really angry right there, guys.
Yes.
He sure as hell did.
And there, yeah. You see, I use it as
Yeah.
I don't need to say that, so I really want to be conscious of not saying So I think we should have an audience tracker for how many ums I say because I gotta.
I haven't even noticed. Now I will.
Me either.
Now you should.
Now I will pay attention.
I think I've been doing okay, but
Okay, so you did mention already your face and hands feeling
you
greasy.
found it. Oh, you found it.
Trash on the ground inside a house.
Oh yeah. That
Oh.
What kind of
icks me
trash?
So bad.
Like just like
Like a pizza
wrappers
box
or
a
pizza
wrapper.
boxes?
Yeah, like actual
clothes.
like things that could actually get your floor dirty. Usually, it would be the big thing. So yeah, food especially things that would actually break down are big. But just clutter in general.
Yeah.
Which is both good and bad for living with Mel because Mel is she's very much better than me at doing like household chores. I don't notice dust and stuff nearly as much as she does, so I let that go way too long. But she doesn't notice clutter. I unclutter stuff all the time. She just leaves stuff, clothes everywhere and stuff like. I just don't like clutter, but especially if it's trash, that just icks me.
And
I've
it's
been
gross.
in some gross house, like hoarders style stuff.
Oh, no.
I mean, you know, like
That's why my grandma's house was almost kind of like a hoarder situation.
I've had clients like that.
Yeah, side.
I have a client that I see now that has, and when I leave, I want to just burn my flesh.
Your favorite person? All right. So then you said kimchi.
kimchi. Do you like kimchi?
Fuck no, but I know
Okay.
exactly what you're talking about.
We were just discussing smells. That is something I can smell, and that smells awful. Kimchi. That's why it grosses me out. 'Cause it's like fish, right? It's like fish soup.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
And it has
I'm
like
not
the.
sure.
Wait, isn't kimchi the drink?
No. Oh,
But isn't there like a host, like a mother something that they pick up in the jar.
I thought it was like something. Maybe I'm mixing it up. I thought it was like a dip almost.
That's ceviche.
That's true. Maybe I'm confusing them.
That's
Well,
the
kimchi is
fish.
definitely the one that.
Kimchi
smells.
is disgusting.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that maybe I don't know what it's used for, but it smells awful and it looks
Yes.
awful.
Yes, it's the dip is ceviche
Yes,
or
that
whatever.
sounds familiar.
That's the fish dip, but then the
Fish dip.
kombucha is the drink I was thinking of. What the fuck is kimchi?
I've heard kombucha
Look it
is
up.
not good. I've never had kombucha. I've heard it's bad.
I can't. I see videos of people making that shit on TikTok, and
Yeah.
I gag.
Yeah, it doesn't
because it
look
looks like a big ball of snot. They call it the mother or the host.
It sounds very alien
Yummy.
It's fucking gross.
proby.
Now this one's actually one of my favorites.
Okay.
Wasabi.
Oh yeah. Wasabi's gross. Wasabi's gross. The actual dip and stuff they put on the side when you get sushi
so
or
good.
hibachi. No. You like
Spicy.
wasabi?
So spicy.
Wasabi?
I love spicy.
Is that what you'd consider it? Is it spicy? Is that?
It's hot. Yeah.
It's something. Oh God.
Burn your eyes off.
Whew. Ugh.
Kimchi is a variety of vegetables and even fruits, but the most recognized version is something kimchi is made with cabbage.
Oh, so it's not even fish. It just smells like it's rotting, regardless.
Yes, because of all the stuff that they mix in with it. So it just, yes.
You're right. The ceviche is the fish. Okay, but it's still like rotting stuff. It seems
Yes.
like. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, cabbage does smell bad after a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another one you said was onions.
Yeah, that's an unpopular opinion. I don't like onions that much. I'm not.
She does not either.
You don't like onions too? Let's
No.
go.
Not
I
raw
thought-
ones.
Yeah.
Like when he gets a sandwich and puts raw onions on it,
Yes.
nothing turns my stomach more because it's like, don't touch me, don't touch the animals, just go directly in the shower, don't touch anything, or just eat it with gloves,
Yeah.
you know, and just leave me alone. But if they're like cooked, sauteed, or onion rings, I can do it. Will you eat onion rings?
I can and will eat onions. They're not terrible, and they're fine because they're on everything. They're in everything.
Yes.
I just have found that over the years, you usually like learn to appreciate onions because they're very useful for cooking. I totally admit that.
Yeah.
But I have found that more and more when I test just taking onions out of any dish that they're in, I like it better. So yeah, if it's grilled, it's a lot better. Yeah, if it's like mixed vegetables or
Have you
whatever,
Yes.
it's fine.
Have you always been like that with onions?
I don't know. I guess I never really noticed it because not usually a strong flavor. I kind of feel the same way about tomatoes most of the time, where they're good and they're definitely. I love the color. I like that it adds a little bit of moisture to whatever I'm eating usually. But again, like like on a burger, like I don't think the tomato adds anything. It's really subtle, but like I don't know. I'm boring. I'm sorry, guys. Again, maybe it's because I can't smell, I can't taste anything fun. So
True.
You need to get that surgery.
Got to get that surgery. Maybe I'll
Yes.
love tomatoes and onions, but yeah, onions in particular, for some reason, I just leave them out.
Yeah.
Leave them out.
Eat them raw or cooked.
Yeah.
Either way.
It grosses me out when people will bite into a raw onion like an
God.
apple.
Oh,
like,
no,
what
no,
the
no.
fuck
No.
are you doing?
I would
There we
do
go.
it, but
That's
never
add
had a
that to the
chance.
strict list. Not just onions, but biting into it. That hurt me.
Like an apple.
That hurt me to even think about it. Thank you.
It's disgusting.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then you said cringe humor.
Cringe humor. Yes, I have I've gotten better about this, but I don't like cringe humor because the idea is that it's funny because it's uncomfortable, but it actually makes me uncomfortable. I feel bad for these people, if it's like pranksters or just like they're trying to put people in uncomfortable situations, or like people that are actually getting hurt. Whether it's in a movie or a show or whatever, and that's supposed to be, or people just handling stuff horribly. That's the joke, is that they keep digging this hole, you
Right.
know, and you just have to watch this just spiral. I can appreciate it sometimes if it's cleverly done, if it's not that serious. But if it's something that, even though it's a fictional character, something that's actually like ruining this person's like life or career or relationship or something, it's not funny to me. Like I just don't.
I'm the same way on some things.
Yeah.
I can agree with
So you
that.
wouldn't watch Family Guy. Kind of.
Family Guy is fucking stupid.
For some reason, it's better with Family Guy because I guess it does depend on my frame of reference. It's worse if it's real people to me. If it's cartoon, I don't feel as because
Fictional, yeah.
it feels more fictional,
Yeah.
you know, like because those characters actually get like run over by cars and like they're fine. They're
Yeah.
not actually.
They don't die.
Right. I can't stand Family Guy.
I like Family Guy. What I couldn't stand when I was a kid, in part because I didn't get it, was they kind of do that with like The Office, right? Where they kind of just have uncomfortable situations and like Michael in The Office is intentionally terrible and does everything wrong. And I was always uncomfortable with that as a kid. I'm like, oh no, that's not what you're supposed to do. Don't do that.
Yes.
Now I've worked in an office and like I totally get it. Like this is just a parody and it's a very funny show. But
Right.
yeah, I
Yes.
guess it just depends. But you don't like Family Guy? It is very childish.
Nope.
It's extremely childish.
I can't handle it. As soon as that comes on the TV and I hear that voice,
Right.
I'm just like, fucking turn it.
Yeah. You don't like South Park either, then I
Fuck
assume.
no.
Yeah. That's
Or
'cause
The
that's even
Simpsons.
more
I haven't watched them
childish.
forever.
The Simpsons
Is that
isn't
still
as
even on?
childish. Oh yeah, it still is.
I
the
don't like
longest running show ever.
cartoons.
Okay, that's fair.
South Park? That's what I was talking about, South Park.
Simpsons.
Simpsons is 30 years.
Yeah.
Only
Is
you
it
would know
only 30
that.
years?
Yeah.
I thought it was longer than that.
30 or 35.
It's really long.
Yeah. Longest running show ever. Well, you said cringe humor and cringe jokes. So that's kind of the same thing. And
So basically
lastly,
listening to this podcast.
Thank
just-
you.
Yes.
No, I mean, yes.
And you
Very
also
cringy.
said bodily fluids.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know if I want to.
No,
Can you
go ahead.
elaborate, please?
I don't know if I do. I think
Like-
I don't love blood. Saliva,
Oh, no, me either.
I don't. Yeah, I probably couldn't be in
Or
medicine.
vomit.
Oh yeah, I can't. Yeah,
No. Oh my god! If our animals like throw up on the floor and he's got to clean it up, he's gagging the whole time.
Yep, that's
And
me.
one of our dogs that we put down several years ago, towards the end of his life, he would vomit like thick
Every day.
mucusy vomit. Not every fucking day.
It was.
And
It really
Michael
was.
would run to the toilet and be barfing. He would sound like Niagara Falls, like a very large waterfall. The fuck is that?
Something just turned on.
Oh, with the central air, that thing that.
No, it's gone.
It's off now.
Yeah, I think it's that central air
random.
thing. The takes the moisture condensation.
Yeah, and as we were saying, is vomit.
Yeah, see it now.
Waterfall. That's how I barf. It's like a waterfall.
And then I'll record him
It's really
throwing
loud.
up
It's
and
really
send it to
loud.
everybody.
Thank
Yes.
you. That's.
And I laugh.
So
I know you
weird.
really wanted to know
That's
that.
so mean. Oh my gosh.
Oh shoot, she does everything. Even when
Wow.
I had surgery. And
Oh
making
yeah,
fun
and
of
he
me.
was crying in the
was
soak down
crying.
unit. Oh yeah, I was recording, taking pictures, sending it to everybody.
That's what anesthesia does to you.
He was
Makes you
crying while
happier,
eating
right?
applesauce.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness. You are the guys on the internet that something horrible is happening that they could easily stop and you just record it instead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on, I
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
grab
well,
my phone.
Hold on. Yeah.
Yes,
Hold what you're doing. Come on, I gotta get my camera on my phone real quick.
that's me.
All right.
TMZ over here.
TMZ.
Was that his
sponsor
whole
us,
list?
TMZ.
Yes, please
That was
sponsor.
his list. Anybody that we're talking about? Hulu, TMZ, please sponsor
Netflix,
us.
Peacock.
MacBids.
I guess don't come after us.
Yeah, don't go after. I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking good things about you. I mean, you got good
YouTube,
shows.
Google, Spotify,
Everybody.
Amazon,
Yes, Amazon, please.
Tim Misney.
Tractor Supply.
Uh,
I have a zoo over here to fucking feed.
True story. Food ain't cheap.
Sure as fuck isn't. Especially with your fat cat, Luna. I don't know where she went. Probably to go
She
eat.
likes to eat. What can I say? So, I'm gonna get into mental health. Mental health. God, I can't even think.
When I get into mental health.
Get into heavy metal. Yeah.
sure.
No,
Sure.
you're old.
I know. I'm gonna
You're
be
the oldest
43.
one here. You're like 73.
I feel 73. No, 43.
Going on 63.
Got one foot in the grave.
Thank God I have
So-
2 life insurance policies on you.
I think I have 3, actually.
Where'd you... Oh, we need to talk about that. I need to know where my money's coming from. Money, 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 money. Okay, sorry.
She just wants me dead so she can have the money.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, our hopes and dreams of building is never going to happen with this economy. We're stuck here until the day we die.
It's a nice place.
I wanted land, more land.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like literally able to walk out my front yard, see nobody, and just be butt ass naked. And I can't do that here, obviously.
No, we have neighbors.
Yeah, but although I
And then
do
the
walk,
creepy
They're
neighbor.
really progressive neighbors.
but I do walk in the backyard naked.
There you go. Mm-hmm. I definitely can't do that at my house either. Well, we have a fence, but you know.
Your houses are so close to
Yeah,
each other.
there's 30 houses on my block.
Oh God, yeah, they would
We
know.
have fences, you know. I am actually in a very progressive neighborhood, so maybe they'll be like, yes,
Yeah,
they're empowered,
completely, yeah.
you know.
Yep.
That's probably not.
No, not that close.
No.
They'd
Not
be
that
like,
close.
"Look at that fucking weirdo, 911."
There's a naked guy next door.
He's mentally insane.
Well, that's probably true, but we'll get into that.
There you go.
On that note,
You have told me you go to counseling.
I do. I go to
What do you
therapy.
go? What do you go to therapy for? If you'd like to share that.
No, that's it's fine. I am not avoiding this question. This answer is truth, and also infuriates Melinda. Also, I don't know.
You don't know why you go?
I don't have a real set goal for therapy that I go to. I kind of started it to be an organic conversation. I felt that I was doing pretty good actually with a lot of my mental health, a lot better than I had been for most of my life, which I had also been in therapy in and out for most of my life. We'll get into that. But but I also felt myself getting lonely. I also had some really important stuff coming up, and I knew big life changes and a lot of life pressures that were on me. And I knew that I needed to get started and have this in case any of those were really tough or went wrong. Mm-hmm. That was kind of the idea. And I know that seems a little bit proactive and silly, and it is a lot of money.
I wouldn't say it's silly. No.
But I just go there to talk about my life, what's on my mind, what's good, what's bad, and making sure that I am keeping on a straight path, because I don't want to have to use my friends as my therapist. And I found that because of that, I wasn't talking to anyone about kind of some of these deeper things I needed to. Mm-hmm. It couldn't just be Mel. And there were some things I couldn't talk with Mel about. I mean, to be frank, I think that's true of anyone. You know, like you can only talk frankly about your relationship problems, for example, with like a therapist, right? Like, or any concerns. Like, you should talk with your partner also, but it's different. It's a different conversation than it is talking with someone else and figuring it out and making sure that you're good and that checking yourself. So that's what I go to therapy for every 2 weeks. I don't go every week because I don't feel like I need it, but and I could probably even cut back less maybe, but I just enjoy it. Even though it's the money, it's really good, and I think everybody should do therapy. You know, hopefully your insurance covers more than mine does, but everyone should do therapy. It's good for you.
Michael,
Kelly.
you should do therapy.
I know, I've been told that a lot.
It's life changing. I go weekly.
I've tried, but maybe I'll try again.
I have had, I've had different experiences depending on, because I've been in and out since I was really young. So most of the time I feel like it's, what is it? Placebo? Is that the word? Mm-hmm. It makes you,
effect.
mm-hmm. But I think if you have the right expectations going into it, that it's not going to solve all your problems, but it can be a crutch, that can help, then it can be really helpful.
It can also be a good outlet. That's what I feel with counseling, because it makes me look at it it's so fucking weird. I don't know if you feel like this, but it makes me like look at it, whatever I'm talking to her about, in a different light. Whereas if I said the same things here, like sitting here with you guys, it'd be totally different than what I say to her. It's very weird. It's like then all the answers just come to me and I'm like, okay, cool. This is what I got to do.
That's true. There are times that I have he's pretty hands off. He just lets me talk, which I know is kind of what he doesn't, some give advice, some really like kind of try to lead you down a path. Sometimes I wish he would do that a little more. But also I use it kind of just as a vent session. Stuff that I just wouldn't talk about with anybody else or don't even want to think about.
Right.
Because it might make me sad.
Right.
You know? And I don't want to bring anybody else down. I just don't even just want to think about it at all. And it isn't even me really that I'm repressing it. Why would I if it's going to make me sad, right?
Right.
But you need to do that, right? So otherwise you don't grow as a person. You just what's the word, coast, right? Which I feel like I'm doing a lot in my life right now.
Coasting through life. Is that what you're saying?
I was 23 like 5 seconds ago. I don't know what happened. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I didn't get that. They said that life speeds up. Man, it really does.
It really does.
yes.
The older you get.
Older you get, I mean, look, it's already May, pretty much like a couple of days. It's like
It's
this year
gonna
just
be
started.
May.
It's gonna be May. I've been told at least when I was younger, I looked like a NSYNC Justin Timberlake. I know that's not NSYNC. Oh, wait, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I could see it with the hair a little bit.
If I had the spike or the frosted tips or something, like.
Oh my God, that'd be fantastic.
I'm really hoping I age like him. Probably not. That'd be nice.
You never know.
will.
That'd be nice. He's a good-looking gentleman.
He is. He popped up on my TikTok the other day. He's got gray in his facial hair now.
Oh, yeah. Salt
Yeah,
and pepper.
that man has been a sex icon his whole life. That'd be so nice, Like what, like 30 years? I don't know how old he is, but
He's 40s.
That's gotta be-
40s.
I would say he'd have to be in his 40s.
he has to have one of the easiest lives imaginable. He just got into a boy band, which is not that much work when it comes to music. You don't have to work that hard. And then, he just learned how to dance, I guess, and look pretty, and that's all he's done.
Yep.
People just pay him.
Yep.
People just pay him to do that, Yeah.
I want that life.
So do I. Show me the money.
Well, you can't sing or dance, so
Well,
it'd be left to me.
I
used
don't
to be
know
able
if
to
that's
sing.
true. You should sing for us
Sing.
on the podcast.
You used to be in the
tired.
choir.
No.
Come on.
Nobody wants to hear
Sing
that.
it. Aladdin. I can show you the world.
Shining, shimmering, splendid.
Yeah, we should do a
over,
duet.
sideways, and under.
That was beautiful. I like that. Thank you. That was nice. That actually was. You were joking, but that was nice.
No.
No,
See,
well,
she don't like it.
well,
No,
I
because
liked
She never will.
that wasn't bad. But imagine being stuck in a car with him going down
would
to
sing
South
country,
Carolina while he sings every single No Doubt and Gwen Stefani song. That is an ick right there.
Hey, you gotta do something to pass the time traveling.
A-N-A-N-A-S.
Go ahead, Mike.
No.
Sing it.
The shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. The shit is bananas.
See?
I love that. I love that.
If Wes wasn't here, you'd be breaking it down right now.
Yeah.
No.
You'd be like, Alexa, play me.
Well, I guess not. I'm being encouraging. It's you're suppressing his
I have to live it.
I don't want to hear you say
his passion. This is his passion, Kelly.
Oh, another humming.
What? Oh.
One of your icks.
God, he'll just walk into the room and he picks the most awfulest times to do this. I don't even know if that's a word, awfulest, but it is today. But I'll be overstimulated. He knows this, and he knows I'm about to the point where I want to skin myself and hang it up, and he'll come into a room that is silent and start. Go for it. Why? Why?
You have to break the silence.
I just look at him and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Or I'm like, why are you doing that? You know today is a bad day.
Gotta put a little hum in your life.
You can come and hum in all of my quiet rooms, Mike. That's fine.
There you go.
Okay. I'm down.
So I have a question for you, Wes. If
Okay.
you don't want to answer, you don't
Please.
have to. Why were you in counseling when you were younger? You said you were in and out since a very young age.
Oh, don't. I was leading you into that question, so you don't have to. You don't have to
Oh,
apologize.
he was kind of wanting you to ask.
Yeah.
There
I
you
wasn't
go.
really sure because like he didn't speak on it, but I'm like,
No. I just don't want to keep rowing up because I'll keep going forever. I need to.
This man will talk forever.
I love it.
He will talk your ears off.
And I didn't want to. It's your show.
No, you're fine.
No.
You're the guest.
You're. It's all about you.
Depression from a very young age was the reason. Yeah, for one reason or another, starting from probably like 5th grade, my parents were just concerned about me. I would just be really pessimistic. The big thing at first was just pessimism. It's always glass half empty, on everything. Even when things are going good, I only found like little things that I did wrong or that could go wrong. And in some ways, I kind of blame, school, both for how kids treat you and also just how they kind of train you to look for and be conscious of your mistakes, right? And instead of maybe encouraging your successes, right?
Right.
It's always looking for ways that you can improve what you're bad at and not, further improve what you're good at, I guess. If you're already good at it, you don't think about that. They tell you to go, now you got to focus because you got to be well-rounded. You got to get all the subjects. You got to be good at everything.
Yep.
Real life isn't necessarily like that. You can be bad at one thing and really good at another thing, and that's fine. In school, you got to be a little bit good at everything. Mm-hmm. And if that wasn't true, then, and that included with my social life or sports or whatever. And it wasn't perfect at any of those things. So, I don't really know because that version of depression changed from different ways. But I think, I lived a pretty privileged life and upbringing. I had great parents. They've always been loving parents, and they still are. And I didn't face what I would consider to be that much hardship as a kid compared to most people. And so why was I still sad? Like, I don't know. I still feel kind of bad. And I think even at the time I knew that too. So I almost felt worse about myself. Like, why am I so sad? How can these people with way worse lives, be so happy?
Right.
Like I have no right to be this depressed all the time. My life is pretty good.
Right.
But I was just really tough on myself and just didn't see the meaning of anything. And so I got into therapy naturally. And I tried antidepressants and stuff. And those didn't work for me, at least. That's probably a placebo. But placebo has value. But anyway. And
Were you in Catholic schools or private or public?
Public school, yeah. So I don't know exactly where that stemmed, but that was pretty bad throughout my teenage years. There were times I was suicidal, absolutely. Never attempted, but
Just had the thoughts.
just had the thoughts. Like, what's the point? It would be the thoughts of the world would be better off with that.
Right.
Sort of things. And
I've been there.
yeah,
I think we all have
yeah.
at one time or another.
And especially when you're a teenager. I mean, it's just,
Oh, God. Yes.
I certainly wasn't alone in feeling that way. And you feel like you are. That's the crazy thing, too. Like, teenagers always think that they're the only ones going through
Yeah.
what everyone goes through, but they don't want to show it. They put on their face. And I don't know how or why, but I mostly grew out of it. I think I got to realizing that despite not knowing what I wanted my life to be, and I still don't know what I want my life to be, I somewhere along the lines realized that I don't have to be perfect at everything. I don't have to have all the answers, and I don't have to have this super glamorous life to be happy. I don't have to be super successful or anything else. And I realized that all the other things in the past, I guess, that I was so worried about never overcoming, I overcame. And I finally, at some point, it finally snapped that, like, oh, well, maybe I can overcome all these other things too.
Right.
Or at least if I can't, so what? And I also learned, I guess, that I don't necessarily, I'm not really religious, so I don't necessarily believe that everything happens for a reason.
Right.
But what I have learned over time is that when bad things happen, you appreciate the good so much more, right? So I've somehow been able to embrace that very simple concept that we all do, but that you'll get through it, and if bad things happen, or if you screw up, most things that you do aren't going to be permanent, and if they are, whatever, you'll get over it. You'll get through it. Life goes on. Life might change. It might be different. It might be scary, but life moves on. So somewhere, I want to say early 20s is when I finally got over that. I don't want to die. I feel that my mental health in terms of my depression is better than it's ever been. And part of that might just be that there's that whole science about your brain developing until 25 or something, right? Something like that. I thought it was nonsense, but anecdotally, my mental health has been way better since I became a full adult with really, I don't think, any secrets, anything that I've really done. I think I just matured, and my problems are different.
Right.
My problems are more serious and less in my head, I guess.
Right.
What I have had happen, though, as an adult, is that I think I've replaced my depression with anxiety, which I did not have as a kid for some reason. I didn't develop anxiety until like 22 or 23, and I don't know why, but I have pretty bad anxiety sometimes now, and so I don't know if it's getting better or worse. I think it's getting worse.
Yeah.
So that's the big reason I go to therapy, is both to talk about these problems and to make sure that my anxiety is in check, and use it for that sort of thing. So,
do you take anything now for anything?
No, I think anxiety medication's kind of tough too, right? Like, I think it's there's a lot of side effects to it, so I've never really considered it. But if it got that bad, I mean, I would, and I may still want to look into it. I don't know, because we can go into the reasons later, but I sometimes have like panic attacks where I just shut down.
I was just going to ask if you had any.
And kind of increasingly, honestly. So I'd say definitely at least a handful of times a year, if not, more.
How bad do they get?
Depends. That's the thing. Like, sometimes I can't tell. I think I have low-level ones, right? I think that, even while answering some of these questions here, you'll notice I'm doing the ums and I'm really kind of stuttering because I don't want to screw it up.
Yeah.
That's really low-level kind of anxiety. I'm not actually anxious or having a panic attack, but it's interesting how I think the way that I've been speaking for the past 10 minutes or so is different than maybe when I started. Would you say that's true? Maybe not. Maybe that's my anxiety talking. There it is.
I don't notice anything different.
No. Not at all.
They get pretty bad though sometimes. If it's really bad, I'll have to lay down. I won't be able to speak. I'll stutter. I'll stutter if I try to speak, and I can't really jump. My thoughts really get pretty negative. The good news is that I usually, if it's that bad, I can recognize it, right? Like, I know what's going on, and I go, oh, that's what's happening. Hey, guys, wherever I am right now, I need to go.
Right.
Unfortunately, you can't always do that, right? Like, there are times you can't just shut down. Like, you gotta push through it.
Yeah.
And that's when it sucks. But usually I'll be, usually I don't, I guess, let myself get into that until I'm at home, which is kind of weird, but.
Because it's your comfort place.
Maybe.
It's your safe haven.
So before that,
You just have to
you
go
have to push
through it.
I'm probably making it worse later, but when I get home, you just collapse.
Yep. Because you exhaust yourself mentally and physically. With your anxiety, do you also experience like OCD?
Not knowingly. I mean, I don't know what I look for. Do you know? I don't think so.
Like repetitive behaviors, obsessing about like having to do something when you get home, like such as like, okay, I know I got to get through the workday. Like I can't do anything until I go home and do this thing.
I definitely get some anxiety from trying to do too much, but I don't know. I don't think. No one's ever suggested obsessive compulsive, so I don't think so. But I don't know.
Right.
Maybe. So.
Well, the only reason I asked that is because of the decluttering that you brought up.
Yeah. That's the only way I'm organized, though. I'm not organized in anything else. So.
So once you recognize that you're going to have a panic attack, what do you do to...
If physical touch would help a lot for the first part, so hugging. Well, if Melinda was there, she can help me a lot. Unless, of course, it's like caused by us arguing or something. Well, then the hug would still help, but she probably doesn't want to. But mostly just laying down. If anyone was around, if they were to tell me that everything is okay, that would help a lot. If I'm by myself, I just have to tell myself that I'm going to be okay. Once I know that I'm having a panic attack, that's when I can start to come down. It might take a while, but before that, it's just getting worse and worse. And then once it's finally worse enough that I notice, then I can just be like, okay, I'll just lay down. I'll be okay. Just remind yourself that you're going to be okay. You just need a few minutes,
Right.
Get some water, make sure you're warm or something, you're in a safe place, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does your body ever tingle? Like, do you get tingly, prickly feeling when you're having one?
I kind of shake. I shake. I do the shaking thing, unfortunately. But never like a seizure or anything.
Right.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know you asked about, I went down a whole tangent there. You asked about when I was a kid. And I went right into now, but yeah.
But that's where it starts. That's, and I want to go back to when you said like school didn't help the situation because of how they are. With you saying that, like it kind of brought me back to my, younger years, and especially in high school. And then after high school, I would say it was my early 20s when I was just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody is perfect. Not everybody nobody is perfect. Like nobody can do.
Justin Timberlake's pretty good though.
He might be.
He might be, yeah.
He might be just a little bit.
Just a little bit. He's got the life.
He sure as fuck does. But I fully believe that. I think in grade school and high school they teach too much of some things that don't really fucking matter, and they don't teach enough of the stuff that does.
Yeah.
And I was forced to go to Catholic schools because of my attitude. My sparkling personality. So
Sure is, everybody.
Everyone talks so highly of like private schools, Catholic schools and stuff, and they're garbage.
Yeah.
They are straight garbage. They do not prepare you for the real world. They coddle you. They wipe your ass. They do it all.
Yeah.
And so much shit goes down in Catholic schools. It's unreal.
I believe that. Yeah, I never. Thank goodness I avoided that. But I'm sorry.
I wish I could have.
Yeah.
I was forced.
I am sorry.
Damn it, Dad.
I was going to say something.
Strangely, I always did pretty well in school, which actually was both good and bad. Another reason.
Explain how good and bad.
I had parents that prepared me well for school. They were very loving, and they had me do my homework, and they made sure that I was focused. And because of that, I think that I had a head start when I was very young, and everyone else caught up to me. Right. So that's the one way it's bad, is that I was put in like the gifted programs and stuff, where first off, it made me feel really bad about myself because before this, I thought I was doing pretty well, but then they put me in the gifted program, and I'm like the worst of the gifted. It's like I'm like, oh, I'm still good, but like compared to these other kids. Anyway, my frame of reference now just got worse. But also, yeah, that I don't know. I think I got this ego, and then it just got shattered like pretty quickly when all the other kids like caught up to my like parental head start that I got.
Yeah. You're like, okay, now I suck.
Yeah, and it's fine. I'm fine, but I certainly wasn't a genius, and I'm still not. And then the other reason is that I think I just like put a lot of my self-confidence, maybe not self-worth into how well I did in school,
Right?
And because of that, and so whenever I failed, I was really hard on myself. So I was one of those kids. So. And then the other thing is while I was maybe good at school, I was worried about that, but I was even more worried about everyone liking me all the time, which did not happen. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked to hear that not everyone was my friend. So I was very obsessed with people liking me. And so if someone didn't like me, I took it very hard. So I don't know where that came from per se, but that was my school experience.
Yeah, I would say I was the same, wanting everybody to like me. So you were saying genius classes, so you're in like AP classes.
I did end up taking a few AP classes that I struggled in, but I got a couple of college credits before going to college, which is good. AP Gov and AP Calc, AB, Calculus. I hate math. I know. And I hate.
This one can't do math
I
either.
hate numbers.
That was one of the hardest classes I've ever had to take. Other kids were in it, and they were like, got nearly 100 on their AP exam. I'm like, I barely passed. There's like a sliding scale from 1 to 5. 1 and 2 is fail. 3 is considered a pass by most schools, not all. And then 4 and 5 is accepted everywhere, I guess. I don't know why. I don't know. I got a 3 on it, so I was stoked. I did not think that I passed it. I'm pretty sure I left a ton of answers blank on the test that were like extended response math questions that I started doing, and then there was like a next part to the question, and the first part was already wrong, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just going to
Slide on past that one.
Just going to scooch on past. Yeah, extended response section did not go well for me. I like when I have a 25% chance of getting it right on a pure guess. Those are better. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was Grandpa coughing.
We'll edit that out. So yeah.
So, Michael, why don't you go into counseling?
I'll look into it. I should look into it.
That's what I said for 39 years.
She always says 39 years.
There's a lot.
I know you was 4 years old.
There's a lot of things that are hard to do. That one's pretty easy. You just go. I would say in person's probably better than virtual, but I know that's harder to find.
The right person.
Right.
The right person to listen to you.
Yeah.
And the last person that I went to go see, he always like made like facial gestures, like
always
seemed
he was judgmental.
Like, that's what. That's what. I was.
Judgmental
he seemed very
therapist.
judgmental.
Yeah, you don't want a
like,
judgmental therapist.
No. Like.
No.
Why would you want to see a judgmental? Yeah. You don't want to be judged. You're going there to get help.
Yeah.
And not be judged.
But you repeatedly then went to see him, and I kept telling you to stop.
I just finally stopped. I'm like, no.
You need to do your research on, first off, who's covered underneath your insurance, and then start looking at their profiles. That's how I found mine.
I'm definitely not going back to that company. I'll go somewhere else.
You needed it. You're welcome.
Everybody can use it. Everybody.
I am sorry that you had that experience, and I can't say that you wouldn't have that experience again, because that's certainly not unusual. I don't know. I also don't know what to tell you to look for in a therapist. Some people really know. I don't. My current guy just sits there and listens for like the entire time. So, and that's great for me, because as you can tell here, I just ramble. So just find a guy like that.
Well, yeah, not only that, but someone like when you walk into the room, the energy and the vibes you get from that person are good, and you almost feel very comfortable in their office.
Yeah.
That when I found my counselor, when I read her profile and just saw her picture, I was like, that's the one. And then it was reconfirmed when I had my first appointment with her, because literally just walking into her office felt like me walking into my house. Like I was home. It was very comforting. She has these like not wind, but like noise machines. Have you ever heard of those? She has those. She dims the lights, and it's just very like comfy,
really
cozy.
nice. Yeah.
Makes it zen.
Yeah.
We could all do that together.
Yep. And that's how I feel. I almost feel like I'm floating on a cloud when I'm in her room.
That's perfect.
So you're comfortable.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable. It'll be a year in June. All because I flung a bath mat at you. Did you ever listen to that episode, Wes?
Well, you say he's on like 6.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that maybe he bypassed.
The bath mat in the trash can.
Nope. I know about
No.
them.
Yeah. Fuck. We still got that bath mat and the trash can. And today I had him empty the trash in that trash can. And I know he saw that hole. It's a reminder of that fateful day.
You should have the bath mat as like. You should use the bath mat for this show. You should have.
Tack it up right
you
there.
should put it right there. And you should have like every guest like sign it. Ideas.
Oh my God, I kind of fucking like that.
I'm just saying. I was good for something today.
Yes.
Just go buy a new one.
Yeah.
Just say, whoever our guest is, sign it.
Don't tempt me with a good time. I'll fucking nail that bitch right there on that wall. So you have to stare at it every day.
I've realized that having interactive stuff in your house, I don't have much, but I want to do better. Stuff that people can just write on, you know, like even it's just like a board, that, you know, on the wall or something, you know, or something people can do. And it's fun, you know, forget something that, you know, they can leave their mark on your house and you remember any guest that comes through, you know, somehow. I don't know.
No, I fucking love it.
It's a good idea.
There you go.
It might happen.
It very well might. I'm going to get on that Amazon tonight.
For now, I'll just accept a photo with Harrison, I guess would be my mark, wherever you want.
He probably went upstairs to go sleep.
Yeah.
He didn't like that we were not paying attention to him, I think.
More than likely.
Yeah.
I don't know where the other two are, though.
Upstairs sleeping?
Well, Harrison's probably stalking Stuart. He stalks him.
Poor Stuart. Should call the police.
Stuart Little. I know. Or Stewie.
Stuart Little.
I call him Stewie.
Little Stewie. Are you sniffing your microphone?
No.
If you're having a lull in conversation, there is one thing I wanted to say. I said earlier that I'm kind of jealous that you guys do this because I think, I mean, you guys tell me, I would love to do this with Mel. Like, just do this.
Oh, yes.
Because
You should.
okay, I don't know. I don't want
Do
to.
it.
I don't want to tamp down your expectations.
No.
But I don't think you guys expect to get famous from this.
No.
Per se.
No.
But I think it's just so good to have this like intentional. We take it for granted. It's so hard to just sit down and just talk because we've got so much going on.
Right.
And you live together. You see each other all the time, so you don't have to. You have to make intentional time for your friends, and you have to go sit down with them and talk to them about their life. But you don't always. You kind of have to go out of your way to do that with your partner, right?
Yeah.
And this forces you guys to do this like all the time.
Yes.
And that is awesome. And I hear the love that you guys have for each other in this show, and I hear how you guys are working through and reminiscing. And no, I think this is really genuinely not only just like fun for you guys. I think it's good for you.
Yes.
So
it's good for my mental
I hope you feel
health.
the same. I hope it isn't too much work because it sounds like it is work. So sorry.
No, it's actually not. At like first getting started and like learning what to do, what to buy, how to set it up. You know what I mean? That is. But now that we're in it, like
We're in it to win it.
we're in it to win it.
Whose idea was it?
So mine.
She wanted to, but I've always, in the back of my head, even before her, I wanted to do a podcast or some kind of like, do something with radio. Because everybody says I have a good radio voice.
You do.
Sometimes.
Wes does.
I do.
Yes.
Really?
I could listen to, if you did a podcast by yourself or with her, I would listen to it. Your
All right.
voice is very calming, and so is his.
Really?
But I wanted to do this because one of my very good friends started her own podcast last summer. And that whole situation when she was just telling me she was going to do it and start it, like, made me extremely uncomfortable. Because at that time, as she would say, I was too comfortable with being uncomfortable. Or too comfortable with being uncomfortable. It was like my normal. You know what I mean? So when she started doing it, I was like, well, I kind of wanted to, like, do something. So I tried the TikTok thing. And I literally cannot say what I need to say in like 30 or 60 seconds. Like,
10 minutes.
So I talked to her and I was like, how would you feel? And she was like, oh, hell yeah, like, do it, blah, blah. And that was like in October. And then I kept dragging my feet because the thought of, like, coming on here and talking about my problems, I'm like, oh, holy fuck, everybody's going to know everything. But I didn't want to do it to get famous. And I don't think she does hers to get famous. It's just like, if one person hears one of these episodes and it resonates with them and it helps them, then that's enough. And if people just like to listen to us, that's great too.
Listen to us.
And if Spotify wants to, you know.
Sponsor.
That would make sense.
If you're out there.
I assume you probably maybe pick and choose who you tell you have a podcast.
Yes, nobody that I work with knows.
There you go.
Well,
I don't care that Mike has told people, obviously, that he works with, because his profession is totally different than mine. And the people that I work with, I keep those at a arm's distance.
Sure. Sure. I have not typically had very many work friends, so, like, the fact that you've reached out so much, by the way, thank you. Just want to say thank you again. So you're like,
no problem.
You're probably my closest friend at the company. So there you go. Yeah. Sweet. Despite the fact that you live 2 million miles away, but
yeah, he
how
texted
far
me.
away
He's like,
are we?
It's an hour and 15 minutes.
It's an hour 15. Distance-wise, it's probably at least 50 miles. I mean,
no, according to Alexa, she said 68.8.
Yeah. I believe that. I believe that entirely. Because it is a pretty straight shot, you know? I mean, it's right up.
77.
Yeah. So, but...
He texted me, why are you so far away? Because I want to be a hermit.
But the other thing that's kind of happened is, as I've listened to you guys, and again, I'm really sorry I have not caught up, but...
you should be fucking sorry.
Yeah.
You're not leaving this house until you listen to every single... No.
That's
We're going to hold you down to listen to the rest of them.
That's fine. That's why I have nothing else to do today, so let's do it. Which is also why I didn't cancel despite feeling terrible this morning. I have no excuse. Like, even if I come there and I just embarrass myself, then that's just funny. It's fine. I just wanted to make sure hosts get to try and come here. So, I am. So
you're good.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was trying to say was there is this weird phenomenon though with you guys that Kelly especially. I've only spent a few times, handful of times with you.
Yeah.
Maybe
once before today.
Basically, was it just a holiday party?
Yeah.
A holiday party.
With Elvis. Okay. Let's talk about Elvis after this.
We can get into that.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Elvis.
Oh boy. I don't even want to name drop his first name because I don't feel like there's that many, you know? Like, I don't want to bash him. You know what? That's fine. I don't want to.
We need a...
All right, so where were we? We got interrupted there for a few moments. I had to stop recording for a moment. So Wes was talking something about a phenomenon, and he had some other stuff he wanted to talk about as well.
Yeah, so what I was just kind of wrapping up there was, I think I was complimenting your show in general, but I was getting to the fact that, Kelly, I mentioned that we haven't spent a lot of time together. That's where I was at. And the reason I brought that up is because despite the fact that I am not spending time with you at all, listening to your show already makes me feel not only that I just like know a lot more about you, but there's this weird phenomenon where I feel like I'm like closer friends with you.
Oh, okay.
This was not a two-way conversation, so that makes no sense. Like, you wouldn't feel closer to me, so I would come into this and be like, hey, my friends, and you'd look at me like, what? Like, you know,
right. Who are you?
Like, yeah, there's this weird thing where, at least since I was already friends with you, like, I don't think I'd do that with like a random celebrity, but yeah, like I feel like I know you guys a lot better, because of that I feel not only just like closer but more comfortable, I guess, around you.
Right.
Because I know maybe more intimately than you'd like me to, even in some places, about your lives. So I think that's really cool, and I think that might be true of anybody else that's your friends that might listen to you. You know,
I hope so.
Or at least if you have like acquaintances, that you'd be comfortable with them listening to this,
right?
I think they might feel the same on that. So,
right.
You know, I think it's kind of a tool you could use. Maybe, I don't know.
No, but I like to hear that. I hope that others do feel like that as well.
Yeah. That's why I also try to get to know people through like video games and stuff too, because it's like less intimidating than actually getting to know people like in person. Like that takes work and effort, and it doesn't take work to just boot up the PlayStation.
Right.
Even if you're playing with a pretty much complete stranger, I realize that's like one of the best ways to get to know like a coworker that you want to get that maybe isn't necessarily comfortable with you enough to like get drinks. You know, they'll play a game with you. You know, and then you just, even though it's over a screen and you might not even be talking about anything related to their life, you still might not even know anything about their life.
Right.
Yeah.
But now you're comfortable with them, and you could go to drinks and be like, hey,
right.
Oh, by the way, I know nothing about your life. Tell me about your life. You know?
It's not, it takes the awkwardness out of it. Absolutely.
So that's kind of the way this kind of felt for me, I guess.
It's like you knew me, but you didn't know me.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since this is only interaction number 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Yes.
So, the other thing I think I wanted to circle back. We were talking about anxiety, and I didn't know if you guys wanted to elaborate more on that. But I did mention earlier that I was very late, and I meant to say I was thinking on my way down here. I said how my anxiety seems like it might even be getting worse. I have also been getting later and later to things. Me and Melinda both. And a lot of times I've unfortunately kind of like blamed her influence because she's always been late to stuff. But I think that I am just on my own too. I'm curious whether that's tied in at all with my anxiety, because I'm so late to stuff because instead of being able to like correctly prioritize, as I think I've done in the past, I think that I'm always just like wanting to get one last thing done. I'm just like, oh, okay, I got time. I can do one more. I can do this. And I wait till the last minute to really. I just keep pushing the envelope, and I keep doing that more and more because I keep feeling this pressure, this anxiety to like get everything done before I go, and I don't want to leave any time, wasted. I don't want to be early because then I could have been doing something else, getting something else off the list.
To me, that sounds like ADHD.
It could just be ADHD. Maybe that's getting worse.
Yes.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
That would make sense. That would make sense too.
I do the same shit.
But it's getting worse. I gotta stop being late and stuff. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm really sorry.
No, you're okay.
You're fine.
This time I wanted to make sure I was not going to come here and just pass out or something.
Right.
Pass out while we're talking to you.
Or just drone out. I do the thing when I'm hungover. I just can't focus on anything. So I would just, you'd ask me a question and it would just be gone. So didn't want to do that. So anyway. Well, there she goes.
So you wanted to talk about dogs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned that I've never had a dog. I don't. She good?
I think she got a phone call.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, Kelly has left the room,
yes,
so I've got the mic now. I guess so. We can say things about her now. She won't even know. Does she even listen to the recording? She probably doesn't. 'Cause she was here, so she doesn't.
No, I don't.
So we could say. Is there anything you've been wanting to say to the audience that you?
I'd rather plead the fifth here, guys. By the chance she actually listens to this.
What I was gonna say about dogs is I never had a dog, which makes a lot of people sad, and it doesn't necessarily make me sad because I don't know what I've been missing. Right? You can't be sad unless you don't know.
Right.
And because of that, I not only can't appreciate other people's dogs as much, I also feel like I really missed out on kind of like a core development as a human. I think that learning to take care of a dog really helps you learn to take care of another person.
Yeah.
Not all the way, obviously. It'd be way easier than taking care of a real person, but I think it can help build a lot of, relationship qualities, perhaps, that might be harder for me, because if I treat my girlfriend like a cat, that I just ignore most of the time, like dogs need a lot of attention. They need to actually be taken outside. They need to be taken care of. Cats, which I had, like you don't really take care of them.
They can take care of themselves.
They take care of themselves.
Yeah.
So you kind of, maybe just assume that other people living in your house just kind of do that. But, I know that's kind of being like a little dramatic about dogs.
Not at all.
But I also think, long term, I think I'm not worried, but I wish I had those skills if I were to ever have like children, because a child is even more demanding on your time than a dog. But if you started with the dog, then you would at least learn how to take care of a dog. I don't even have that, so I feel like I'm a little behind on that. So kind of sucks that I never had a dog. I should probably get a dog at some point, but
maybe one day.
Melinda's really trying to get me to get a dog.
See, there you go.
Yeah, she wants it bad, but I've dragged my feet because it's a lot of work. It's hard to find a place that takes dogs, and I also work from home, and I just don't know how distracting that's going to be. I don't know. I've just never had a dog, man. I don't know. And there's always here's the pessimistic young Wes coming into it. I didn't want to have to, like, if I wanted to be sure in my relationship before I got a dog with someone, because if you get a dog and then you break up, then like who gets the dog? And that sucks. It sucks for you and it sucks for the dog. So I should probably get a dog though. I like that.
Listen to her and get a dog. I mean, you don't have to get a big dog. You can get something small.
Well, that's what they call me. They call me the big dog.
You call it a big dog.
Yes, all the time.
You should go to
hey, Harrison.
Cleveland Humane Society, or the APO, or whatever they call it.
That was me, by the way. That wasn't the dog. You're welcome.
That was a high-pitched meow.
Yeah. I used to be able to do a very convincing meow when I was a kid. I'd actually, like, screw with teachers and stuff. It's funny.
Like, is there a cat in
Like,
here?
you hear that cat? Then I hit puberty. I can't do that anymore. Allegedly, I hit puberty. Some people claim I still haven't.
It's fantastic. What, you're 27?
Mm-hmm. Gonna be 28. Boy? Yeah, sure look young. Although I've started getting carded less. I'm like, what the heck?
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
I don't know. I think it must be, they just see the defeated look in my eye, regardless how young I look. They're like, okay, yeah, this isn't a kid. Like, this guy needs a beer to deal with life. I got that same comment from, I went down to Ohio State the other day, and was talking to faculty for because I'm in that program where I try to recruit the kids.
Yeah.
And the faculty remarked, who doesn't know how old I am, she's like, oh, you're old enough that you're calling them kids, so you must... I didn't even notice. I was referring to the college students as being kids. She's like, oh, yeah, you must be older. I'm like, damn it, I am getting old.
That's what I find myself doing, being 42 and then saying the kids are these young kids. And I'm like,
and the kids might be like 28,
right?
Anybody younger than you is now a kid. Yep.
Harrison.
It's funny. There's a funny phenomenon with the word buddy, especially too. It's really funny. You only use buddy for somebody either younger than you or like smaller than you. It's like a known thing that men do unknowingly. You don't call like a big dude buddy unless you're like mad at him maybe. But like, hey buddy, but you don't. You call like children. Yeah. You call people younger than you that you respect less buddy. Unconsciously.
Well, don't you like call buddy like your friend?
You could, but buddy? With strangers, it's very funny. It's like this subconscious thing.
Well, yeah, strangers.
I don't know how substantiated, but I read it once and it makes sense that you use buddy for men but either children or men you don't respect as much. Just think about it. I don't know. Notice who calls you buddy. They might be letting on how they feel about you.
True. Never thought of that.
I told that to Joe, our mutual friend, Joe. because he called me buddy a lot. He's like, I swear that's not why. But who knows? Who knows? He just got married, by the way. Congrats to Joe. Finally. To Fran.
Oh, yeah, April.
Yeah.
April and Gervasi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that had to be a pretty penny.
I'm sure it was. Let us down.
Right.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
Oh, no.
Cavs just lost. She's not here. We can talk about sports.
Yes.
Yes.
Tonight's
And don't
game,
forget about the sports.
Tonight's game 4.
Well, they just lost.
Yes.
So it's 2-2 now. They lost
they
bad.
did?
They lost bad. Yeah.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The game was at 1 o'clock.
The game was early. Yeah, I just
And
checked
they
my
play at,
phone upstairs. Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to break the news, but ripping off the Band-Aid, they lost by like 20.
Again?
Yeah. There's a way, so... But yeah, it's so
Still,
bizarre. How
though.
do you blow them out the first 2 games?
And then get yourself
blown
blown
out
out.
the next 2 games? Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me. Guardians
That's
are on top,
Cleveland.
though. Guardians are first in the league, aren't they still? Or no?
No.
Are they
Atlanta
finally-
actually took... Well, in the league, yes. In the American League, yes. They
Okay.
are top dog.
They're
But
still winning the division, though. Regardless, they're looking really good, which is
they're
shocking.
game and
'cause
a half up.
I thought they were going to be awful this year.
So did I. I mean, you got to think, though. This core group has been together for a few years now, and they're maturing together. And they've been
guess.
together in the minor leagues as well, so
Yeah.
they all know. And plus, maybe with the new manager, Stephen Vogt,
Yeah.
that they want to do good for him. I don't know.
Whatever they're doing well. Because I know the Tribe is always at the bottom of the salary cap. You know, because baseball
Pretty
is
much
a
the
pay.
bottom, yeah.
It's pay to win. So whenever the Tribe is competitive at all, it's shocking. You know, like how the heck?
That's the only thing that
That's what's
pisses me off
oh, I
about
know. There
the
should-
ownership.
there
That
should
they
be a
won't
salary
spend
cap.
money.
You need
They're
a salary.
worth billions of dollars.
Sure.
But all they want to do is upgrade the stadium. Let's
Well,
not get better players in here to try to win a championship.
Well, there's that problem, but I would rather not say that that's the problem. I just think the problem's the salary cap. You should have a salary cap.
Oh, definitely.
Why the hell don't we have a salary cap in baseball?
I can tell you why. George Steinbrenner
Oh, yeah?
never wanted one. And that's the old
Yeah.
owner of the Yankees.
Yankees. Yep. Well, yeah.
as you can see,
Yankees and the
Yankees-
Dodgers don't want it. Sure. I mean, why would they? Gives them a huge advantage.
There has to be a what do you call it? Level playing field.
Yeah. No, it's just bad for the sport. You know? I mean,
Like everybody else
what
has a salary
are
cap.
the Athletics supposed to do? Unless they get Moneyball again, you know? I mean, what the hell? How are they supposed to compete?
They can't compete, and
They
that's why they're
can't.
moving out of state and going
Yeah.
to.
Not the only reason they're moving. I mean, they're competing with the Giants, which
Oh.
is a much bigger franchise, but
Yeah. And they can't get anybody to the
they
stadium.
can't get anybody to come. Well, because they suck.
But they always used to be good in the 80s and
Again,
the
because of
90s.
Moneyball, but otherwise,
Yeah.
they just got really efficient, you know? But I think that was an exception, not the rule, you know?
I think with our start, hopefully they can actually keep it up and win the division.
That'd be great.
I mean, look at Chicago.
I keep waiting
They
for them to
suck.
fall off because we've still played
Don't
mostly
say
bad
that.
teams, but I'm keeping my
It's true.
expectations really low, man.
I mean, we've only played like Oakland, Boston.
Yeah.
Boston's not that good. Yankees spanked us.
Yeah.
That's the only series that we've lost so far this year.
Yeah, so
Is the Yankees.
I'm waiting for him to fall apart, but regardless, what a start,
No.
man. Even if
You can't say that.
if it goes down a little, I mean, the fact that they've been doing so well and with Josie hitting like crap, they've still been winning. So Josie, you know,
Jose?
Josie Ramirez, you know?
Josie Ramirez.
Josie Ramirez.
Jose.
How can I-
Jose.
Jose. Jose.
There it is, yes.
Jose.
Yeah.
I never know if he actually approves of that chant or of anything else because he's
I'm
always
sure he does.
'cause
He
he's
loves
always
Cleveland.
he's always frowning
As he said. True. He never does look like he's happy.
and he doesn't speak any. You can speak a
No.
little bit, Josie. Come on, Jose. I'm going to keep calling him Josie until he just says hello, thank you for coming, or something like to the face. Come on, man. Just say hi. Come on.
They better re-sign him, too.
Yeah.
Even Josh Naylor and Stephen Kwan.
Yeah, Kwan's crazy, man. He's so good.
He's doing good this year.
So good.
Having a bounce back year.
Yep.
Everybody's having a bounce back year so far. That's
And then
keep it up.
And then the Browns drafted a defensive lineman yesterday. So
was that the one from Ohio State?
Yeah.
They drafted a Michigan, didn't they, too?
Nah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not actually paying that much attention. I have very low expectations.
I never
for the Browns.
really pay attention to the draft.
Until they get rid of Deshaun Watson, I have very low expectations for the Browns.
Oh, he's got, what 3 years left.
I mean, they could just eat it.
He's done shit.
They could just eat it. I mean...
Well, nobody's going to take that contract.
No,
that's why.
Yeah.
Try to trade him away.
I mean, if I was him, I'd play like shit too. And he doesn't even have to sacrifice his body. He still gets paid,
Yeah, even with his shoulder. I mean...
I would just say I'm hurt all the time.
Yeah,
I would just start limping.
Start limping.
Pay off the team doctor.
That'd be Cleveland. That'd be a Cleveland thing for sure. Because Cleveland's always...
Does Joe Flacco have a child that can play for us? Maybe.
Can Joe Flacco come back to us?
Joe Flacco Jr.
That's another thing. Well, I kind of can understand because they still want to try to think that Watson is still our guy, but I still wish they would have signed him to maybe be the backup just in case instead of Winston Jamison.
Yeah, we did sign Jameis Winston, didn't we?
Which he's like agent
I totally forgot the Browns did that. Nobody's even brought that up. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, they're probably both not good, but we'll see. Maybe. What was it that he got? Didn't he steal some crab legs or something the one time? Wasn't that a whole thing?
Something.
I think he stole crab legs while in college or something.
I can't remember what it was. But yeah,
crab legs,
some,
Jameis Winston. I was cheering for him at FSU. That was the last time FSU was good until last year when they got screwed.
Yeah.
Do you follow college football much at all, or only when I talk about it?
I like watching Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I just wanted on the record that Florida State got screwed. I'm sorry, guys. They did. Yeah, they got blown up by Georgia, but Georgia might have been the best team in the country last year. Michigan might have won the whole thing, but Georgia still might have been the best.
I think that should be taken away from them. Michigan.
Oh yeah, we'll see if they're actually punished. They're already on 3-year probation for the recruiting violation, which was a completely separate thing. We probably won't find out what the NCAA says about the Connor Stallions gate.
Dragging their feet with this.
They always take forever. I'd rather they do a good job. But I have very little faith that they're going to do the right thing. I mean, they cheated.
Yeah.
They cheated hard.
It needs to be, the national championship needs to be taken away from them. And I don't think...
Yeah. Well,
shouldn't give it to the runner-up. There should be no national champion for that year.
Slight credit to them, once they cracked down on this and they took away all of their cheating material, they still won it all. So clearly they were still very capable, which
didn't blow people out.
The question, why cheat? If you were this good without it, why'd you have to do that, man? I mean...
It's why the Astros? Houston Astros back in 17.
No, that's yeah. And I don't doubt that other teams do it. That's usually the Michigan, it's not the big deal. Every team does. No, well, we should probably prevent that from. And we should just put. They're finally supposedly going to put. We're gonna. It's never going to happen again because they're putting mics in helmets in college. They already do that in the pros, and they've been stubborn about it in college because tradition or whatever. So they're finally. You're not going to be able to steal signs because there's not going to be signs. If you maybe somehow tuned into their frequency or something, but I think that's a lot more secure. They've never had any problems in the NFL, so hopefully we'll go back to the true days of the only way you're going to read that that scheme is when they run out onto the field and just guessing. You're not going to be able to actually know the play that they're going to run, which is apparently what they knew. Pretty easy to block or tackle the guy when you know exactly where he's going to go, right?
Right.
So
I heard they're adding the 2-minute warning as well.
Oh yeah, I don't really get the advantage. The games are already long enough. I don't really know why, but whatever, it's fine, I guess.
College games are more shorter than.
No, they're not.
You don't think?
That's wrong. No, college games are longer than pros. Yeah.
It's a
Well, you have to, first off, here, before anything else, they have a long halftime for the marching bands.
True. Yeah, longer.
Mm-hmm. The halftimes for pro games are like 15 minutes.
Something like that, yeah.
They're not very long.
True.
For college, it's like 45 minutes. So.
That long?
I don't know. It's long, man. I don't remember. It's a long time. It's 2 to 3 times as long as a pro halftime. And pro games just go quicker for some reason. They might even, are there 12-minute quarters in pros?
15.
Okay, they are 15. Okay, then they're both 15. Never mind. Anyway, I'm pretty confident that the college games are longer. They've been making fun of how they've been like 4-hour games.
We should do a study on this.
I could probably just look it up like really
Probably,
fast.
yeah. See what's the average game for NFL and college.
But yeah, to the listeners, big Buckeye fan, Buckeye grad myself. So
yes,
definitely, love watching them every year. They're definitely the bad guys in the sport. And now that Saban's gone out of Alabama, we are definitely, Michigan's still the bad guys now.
Yeah.
Now Michigan's the bad guys because not only did they win it all, but they're also cheaters. But we're the second most hated team probably in football right now.
How about Georgia? What do you think about Georgia?
That's true. Georgia's been really good. I don't know if people hate them, though. They haven't been consistently good for long enough. They've only been consistently good for like 4 years now. And they've been super good. I mean, Kirby Smart's going nuts down there, but people hate Ohio. I mean, when you're just consistently good. And we've had, scandals here and there. Oh, yeah. We haven't had a good one in a while, which is good.
Not anymore.
Knocking on wood there. I think Ryan Day's been running a pretty clean program. Again, I'm knocking on wood pretty good. But
how do you feel about Ryan Day? You like him as our
dude, we're so spoiled. The fact that we're debating, the fact that we're like even having this conversation about firing a guy that has like an 800 win record and has averaged.
He can't win the big games though.
He's averaged like 2 losses a season.
Still two a season.
He's gone to the playoff like 3 times. Like, oh my god, it's just insane what our standards are. But he lost to Michigan 3 times.
That's what it is.
And he has lost, and it's like lost the same way every time too. It feels like deja vu each of the past 3 years.
Yep.
And it just sucks. I never hated Michigan growing up because we'd always beat them. If you remember, I'm a little younger. I didn't remember when the Michigan was good in the 90s.
Right.
I remember. I know that that's true. But yeah, I grew up on Trestle football, and we dominated. I mean, there were a lot of close games, but only once did they ever come out before. There was like one game they lost in the entire 2000s decade, I think, to Michigan. And then only maybe one game.
You're right.
Because we lost in 2011 when they had that weird offseason from the scandal from the Terrell Pryor and stuff, I think. Then we lost to Michigan again. But like in general, we won almost every year, and they never broke our hearts. And now they 3 times in a row broken our hearts. So now I finally feel the rivalry. I've stopped feeling bad for Michigan fans, which I did most of my life. I'm like, that sucks to be you. And people told me not to feel bad for them. And now I don't. I don't feel bad for them anymore.
Don't feel bad.
They've won, and they've won, and they've started gloating immediately, really bad. And I have realized that they are equally, if not more, pretentious than Ohio State fans, who are also notably very pretentious. The Ohio State fans, we might be a little pretentious, but boy, man, Michigan fans are pretentious. Ohio State fans think their football team is better. Michigan thinks their football team is better, and that they're smarter than you. So. Because it's a really good school. Credit to Michigan. It's a good school.
I know they're a good school.
I'm
sure they are.
It's phenomenal academic institution. And they will tell you that also. Because
I'm sure Ohio State
they think they're better than... Well, yeah. But Michigan calls themselves a public Ivy, my friend. That's how pretentious they are about it. But they are...
Oh, they think they're Ivy League, huh?
They absolutely think that they're up there. Yeah. They're one of the best schools in the country, and they are. That's credit to them. They've got a cool library in Ann Arbor that looks like Harry Potter camp.
Really?
Oh, it looks really cool. I'll show you some pictures later. It's really cool.
You've been inside?
Oh yeah, I've been to Ann Arbor. I'll go one further. I'll prove this. I love to tell this story. I got into Michigan. I applied. I wrote their stupid essays. They made me write 3 essays along with my
Allocation?
There's like another essay you have to write for the, I can't remember what it's called. There's like this program you can go apply to like most colleges with. They just accept. Anyway, I think I wrote at least 3 essays for Michigan, and I got in. Very proud of that. My parents were proud of that too, 'cause it's a tough school to get into. And then I didn't go. I went to Ohio State.
Did you get accepted at any other colleges?
Yeah, I applied. I think I got into all the schools I applied to. Yes.
Where all did you apply?
I kept my standards low. Michigan was the only one I was stretching. I applied to Akron and Kent, which both don't have very high standards. And
No,
they let me in immediately.
Yeah.
It was
You're in.
The like tough schools get back to you in like months.
Yeah.
Akron and Kent got back to me like within a few days.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, please.
Yeah, we'll take you.
Please give us your money,
Yes.
please. And it would have made a lot of sense. I mean, Akron, I could have saved a ton of money to commute to
Right.
Akron. I mean, really. And my parents went to Kent, so I
Oh, okay.
that would have been a legacy Kent. And also, they also would have been really affordable. And I really like Kent. Kent is a good school. It's a good town. I have a lot of friends that went to
I
Kent.
like the campus.
I think
It's really nice over there.
I question. I think I would have enjoyed if I would have gone to Kent. I think I might have been a different person. I definitely would have had, I think, a different kind of life trajectory. And because it was a little rough starting off at OSU. I did not have a good freshman year. I was very lonely. And it is a big school that does not give a shit about you. And a lot of the kids that go there, they're very ambitious, they're driven, but they're also kind of too good for you, right? You kind of have to learn how to play the game because everybody's just looking for the next best thing, whether that's plans or people.
Yeah.
Down at OSU, and I learned to navigate that eventually. But there was a lot of that, and I don't think I saw that as much at Kent. I mean, I don't know. I didn't go there. But I think people go to Kent with the right attitude. They're just there to get an education and hopefully, get a good job and maybe enjoy their time while they're there, right? Ohio State students think that they're better than the rest of the schools in the state. That's just kind of the truth.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of artificially raise the standards to get into Ohio State, so you get a bunch of kids that worked really hard to get there, and they deserve to be there, but they have an ego, right? That I don't think is true at Kent. So I question, and Kent's even more of I think a little more of a traditional college experience in that there's nothing else around. It's just a campus, and then the city of Kent isn't much else. It's pretty much just that, right?
Yeah.
That isn't true at OSU, right? Like you're in the middle of Columbus, like you're surrounded by the city.
Yeah.
But I also applied to Cincinnati, got in, did not go there. I never really seriously considered it, and then Ohio State and Michigan. So that was it. Mostly in-state, everything in-state except for Michigan, I guess.
Yeah.
So wanted that in-state tuition because I couldn't afford it. Yeah, the other reason I didn't go to Michigan, the reasons I didn't go, because I was kind of intimidated. I thought I would struggle, and I think that would have been true. And B, it would have been, and this was 10 years ago, keep in mind, it would have been $50,000 a year out of state tuition.
Jesus.
So it was a lot. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So practically, regardless of, I would still have been a Buckeye fan, right? But those were the practical reasons I didn't
Be
go
a
there.
Michigan student and be an Ohio State fan.
I think I would have been. I'm glad I didn't go. I think I would have been a different person. And I think I would have been if I was lonely at Ohio State, where I did know some people from high school, at least still, I'd go to Michigan. I wouldn't know anybody, which is how it's supposed to be at college, right? But I'm glad I didn't. I had enough mental health problems as it is. I didn't need to just be dropped off in Ann Arbor and be like, bye,
Right.
good luck.
Have at it.
So, anyway, we were talking about sports.
Yeah.
I just went on a tangent. I'm being interviewed, so, but
that's all right. That's what we do here.
yeah,
We go out into left field. Or that would be right field.
you would have loved to see our tangents last night while I was talking to CJ watching Shogun. Oh my god, dude,
I'm gonna have to watch this show and see what this
no,
is
but
all
we
about.
tangented on to random, we talked about the Incan Empire at one time.
Oh,
Our tangents are wild. Yeah, something reminded me of. We're both nerds, my man. I don't know, me and Siege. So there was something in the show that was kind of historic because it's all based 400 years ago. So it was the same time as the Incas were across the world. The Incas were a South American. I don't know if you.
no.
The Aztecs in Mexico. Like
Yes.
they were an ancient. It was like that, but it was in South America. It's those
Gotcha.
guys. Have you ever seen The Emperor's New Groove?
I've heard of it. I've
With the
never
llama.
watched it. No.
Okay.
That's a Disney movie. Isn't
You
it?
ever seen? Yeah. You ever seen? Shoot, what's that? What's that movie where there's those two treasure hunters and they're Disney and they go up into the mountains? Oh God.
Is that an older Disney movie?
Road to El Dorado? Is that it? Does that ring a bell? You haven't seen that either.
I've heard the title.
Okay. I'm trying to think of all the things that reference. They were south of like the Andes Mountains, like Peru and stuff. They were Peruvian empire. They were a big deal. The Europeans showed up and they all died. So, but anyway, we went on a whole tangent about that. So I have no issue tangenting as I'm doing right now. But read about the Incans. They were pretty cool.
Okay.
That's true for everybody. They got cool stuff.
Do they?
They do. They have really cool stuff. Look it up.
Okay.
Oh, but there was one of the things we said on the tangent. Here, I'll do this. They were almost even worse than like other Native Americans. They were wiped out by disease like really quick. Like it took hold even worse than it did for the Aztecs or other Native Americans here. The Spanish just like showed up and they found this port city and they were like, wow, this is amazing. Like there's this, and they told them about this huge rich empire nearby that they were a part of, and the Spanish were like, all right, hold the phone, we'll be right back. They come back like 10 or 20 years later because that's how long it takes to friggin' sail across the sea and get whatever.
Yeah.
Not only was that town completely gone from disease, they climbed up into the mountains and they found this town, like really great cities, almost completely abandoned. And they were like, wow, what happened here? Who killed all these people? Like, where did they all go? It was them. It was the Spanish who'd arrived 20 years earlier that spread the disease in that port. It just spread to the rest of the empire before they even got there. They hadn't even gone to that city before. Isn't that wild? That's so sad. It's terrible. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was one of the things we tangented on. I just think that's why. Like, why did you just walk into a ruin and you're like, oh, how did this happen? And the answer is just you dude. You showed up and you had measles. You know?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Get your shots, kids.
Yes.
Don't get measles. It's no good.
Don't get measles. Mumps.
Measles, mumps, rubella.
Rubella.
Does
Yeah.
anybody get rubella? Is that a thing still? I don't know. Hopefully not.
Probably not. I don't know.
Smallpox?
I haven't-
I think smallpox is gone, right?
I think
I think we got rid of smallpox. I hope. That's a
Hopefully,
terrible
I
one.
don't
That one really kills you. I don't want to get you. Measles is wild though. You'll get it from like if you walk in that door and I had measles, like you get measles. Like that's how contagious it is. It's like
Wow.
super contagious. Like I think they said like 90 yards away or something.
I never had it.
Well, I would really hope not. We have a vaccine to make you immune
True.
to it that we've had since like the 40s. Okay, so I hope you've
yeah.
never had it. The only way you'd have
Yeah.
it is if you did get that.
Which everybody's required to get.
Everybody is required to get. But anyway, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. But yeah. No, I'd hope you didn't. It sounds not fun.
Never even had chicken pox.
Neither have I. Which is good, I think, because you can get shingles, right?
Yes.
Later in life.
Yeah.
From the.
that's-
I did learn that it's a variant of herpes, actually, chickenpox. I think.
it? I never
Pretty
knew
sure.
that.
Yeah. A lot of diseases are just herpes. Well, apparently.
Diseases are just herpes.
I guess. I don't know. I'm pretty sure chickenpox and like something else. I can't remember. I don't know. Anyway. We started on sport. Let's go back to sports because she's going to
Yeah.
make us stop. What else do you want to...
Actually, I don't think she's coming back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just us.
Hmm.
Sports. So we talked about baseball. We talked about football.
Well, I
we
hope
talked about the
everything's
Cavs.
okay with her. I will say. Or whoever needs their help. Yeah, the Cavs, I
Let's see
don't
the
think that even
scoreboards.
if they win this, that they're going to get past the Celtics, but it's fun to watch them either way. I think their coach needs to go.
Jeez,
Bickerstaff,
Everybody wants him gone.
yeah, he needs to be gone.
112 to 89.
Told you it wasn't
Game
close.
5 is Tuesday.
Yep. So
They're not even sold out, I think.
Really?
From what I heard. And the tickets are cheap.
ooh, maybe I should go. Tuesdays?
Yeah, Tuesday.
I live down the road. It's a lot easier for me to go to a game than you. I can just take the train.
Hey, well, I can work in Akron to go.
That's still not that close. I'm 10 minutes
like
away
a
from.
half hour.
I'm 10 minutes from downtown, Mike.
It's true. But half hour, that still ain't that bad.
I could ride a scooter there. That'd be fun.
Ride a scooter.
I don't recommend it. Superior Bridge is pretty long. But.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Let's look at this. Last I saw, I think $27 was the cheapest
Wow.
for the upper deck.
Damn, I gotta get my grandma. My grandma, actually, there's a fun fact for the podcast. My grandmother is the biggest Cavs fan I know. She
Really?
doesn't care about any other sports or really anything else that's that notable. But she follows the Cavs religiously, which is very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Very funny to me. I just don't know.
So according to this, the game is at 1 o'clock on Tuesday.
Oh, I can't do that.
That's dumb.
That's
why
probably
would it be at 1 o'clock?
That would be why it's not
on a
selling.
weekday.
That would be why it's not selling, friend.
$26.
Yeah, well,
Section 218, row 10.
I mean, I got this brand new job. I probably can't justify taking a half day, but maybe I can. Who knows? That'd be
They
great,
wouldn't
man.
care.
That would be great, man.
It would be.
That would be awesome.
They wouldn't care.
1 o'clock, though, that does suck. I mean, but you don't want it late on a weekday either, because people might not want to come if they have work or school.
Well, at least 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Should be the game.
I don't know, man. Don't ask me. I'm
think
sure it's
it's
a TV. I'm sure it's a TV thing. They have a
But it's Tuesday
they have a
during the
more
week.
they have a more primetime playoff matchup at 7. You know,
Probably.
they have the
better
Celtics
team.
or the
A better team to
Lakers.
watch.
You know, yeah. Yep, that's certainly
Because
what's
nobody
going-
wants to watch Cleveland.
Nobody. Orlando versus Cleveland. It's not two big markets.
No, definitely not.
No one's.
Not since LeBron's not been here.
Neither of them are championship contenders, probably. So,
No,
you know.
no, definitely not.
Anyway,
Do you watch hockey?
do not. I like it.
I do, but I'm a Penguins fan if I ever get to see
But,
them.
boo! I don't care. I just know they're the bad. I just know they're the bad guys. They have Steelers
anything
colors.
Pittsburgh?
How do you cheer for them?
But how do I? I've always because
They have
Ohio never
Steelers
had
colors.
a team
They
when I was younger. It was.
Some would
I did
argue
live-
they still don't. Jackets are terrible.
No, there was a year that they were pretty good. Then they go to the
They've gone to the
Eastern
playoffs.
Conference Finals or something like that.
I
or
don't think so.
At one point,
I don't
that
think
good?
they beat the Lightning a few years back, and that was like a historic thing because not only did the Jackets make it to the playoffs barely, but they beat the league, not just league leading, but record-setting Tampa Bay Lightning team. They had the winningest season of all time, and then the Jackets won in the first round. So then they got creamed in the subsequent. But
Yeah.
yeah, I could just keep talking while you'd go deal with that, Mike. Whatever you got to do. Got to do what you got to do.
Actually, I think this is where we're going to.
Yeah.
We'll end it on this. I want to say thank you for Wes to coming for this episode. Greatly appreciate it. We would love to have you back again. Definitely. And if your girlfriend would like to come too as well.
Sure.
She wants to be internet famous. Or
That's true.
podcast famous.
That's true. Maybe.
So,
Maybe when she hears this.
don't forget to follow us on our socials. We are on Facebook, Instagram. We don't have a Snapchat yet. We do have, once again, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have a Twitter now. I forget what the actual, but you will always see it on our Facebook page, what all of our tags are and where we are. We also have a link tree you can go to where Facebook is. We have a Reddit as well. I haven't really used Reddit a whole lot, but we are on Reddit, and Twitter, Instagram.
You have your own subreddit?
Huh?
You have your own subreddit?
I don't really understand it.
Yeah, I don't.
So
Hey,
maybe one day I'll figure it out and post more on Reddit. But yeah, don't forget to follow us on all of our socials. And our email address is unapologeticallymixedup@gmail.com. And toodaloo, motherfuckers.
call me Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake says goodbye.